Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Piyush and this is video number 6 in the series Azure DevOps Zero to Hero. And in this particular video, we'll be talking about Azure Test Plans. We'll be doing end-to-end demo. We'll be looking into concept, what it is, and a lot of other things. So without wasting any time further, let's look into the agenda for today. So I have logged into my GitHub repository. Link is over here and it will be there in the description section as well. So feel free to take it from there. So in that, if you can just go to the repository and scroll down, so there'll be a separate folder for each of the topic, for each of the video that we are planning and working on. And every video will have notes after it is published. It will have notes and diagrams and important concepts and few other details. For example, if you go to day one video, right, it will have the link to the video. It will have all the important notes and important diagrams that we have discussed throughout the video and a few other things. So you can have a look at that whenever you have time, right? And currently we are at day 6. So we can just scroll down where it says day 6 Azure Test Plan and Testing. This one over here. Okay, so again, we'll be using the same YouTube clone application. And from next video onwards, we'll be using a different project. Hopefully it'll be a e-commerce website or anything else. I'm still looking into it. So we'll be looking into Azure Test Plan overview, what it is, what are the different features of it, how do we create the test plans, test suits, cases, and how do we subscribe to the test plan free trial. Then authoring, running, and analyzing manual test cases from Azure Test Plan and Azure Test and Feedback extension, and how can we execute the test from that extension as a stakeholder. We'll be looking into concept as well as hands-on demo. So let's start the video. So Azure Test Plan is nothing but a set of tools integrated within Azure DevOps that provide functionality to run and execute your test cases. It could be an automated test cases, manual test cases, user acceptance test, and many more. So let's have a look at all the features of it. As you can see, it has manual test cases and exploratory testing, which means you can run planned manual testing. A team of designated tester can be assigned certain number of test cases and they can execute all the steps mentioned in the test cases. We'll have a look into that. How do we execute it? How do we create it? And all other things. Then there is also a dedicated team to perform user acceptance testing, which ensures that the product that we have built and delivered is as per the standard, is as per what user is expecting out of it. So that's what it is. And then we have exploratory testing. So certain other teams that are not part of development, teams such as your sales team, marketing team, they can also execute some testing on your project without actually following the test cases. So this is, when they want to check if it's working fine or not, they can just log into the browser. They can see if they are able to log in, if they have the required access, and like a lot of other things, those things that they can test it out without actually executing the test cases. Then we have an important features, which is stakeholder feedback. So there is a browser based extension. It's called Test and Feedback extension, and it is available in Chrome, Edge, Firefox, and a lot of other browsers. So you can install that extension. And as a stakeholder, you can execute your test cases. You don't have to be part of Azure DevOps organization or the project itself. You just need to have the stakeholder access on the project, and that is it. And then you can run the test cases and then you can provide feedback to the development team. We'll also look into this as part of this demo. So yeah, don't worry about it. Then the next one, we have automated testing. Automated testing, as the name suggests, you can integrate the test cases within your CI/CD pipeline and execute the test cases as per the pipeline run. Then you can publish the results from, there are different options. Then you can publish the results from the pipeline, and then you can also analyze the results. So there are different type of reports available, such as built-in test reports by the pipeline, and you can also use the progress reports. So these features you can also use. It also provides you end-to-end traceability. That means your user stories are linked to the test cases or test plans, and users can also execute the test cases from Kanban board or from the Azure Test Hub itself. This provide end-to-end traceability. User stories has linked Azure Test Plans, and it is a bidirectional linking. So from the test cases, you can see what user story this is part of, and from the user story, you can see what all test cases are included in that, right? And then there are several type of reporting and analysis that can be done through it. There are different type of widgets available as part of it. You can use these widgets in the dashboards available within Azure DevOps, and you can use different type of analytical reporting with the help of Azure DevOps reports, and you can done analysis on that, create some meaningful data out of it. So these all functionalities are available within Azure DevOps Test Plan. Let's quickly have a look at different type of entities available within Azure Test Plan. We'll have a look into this demo, then it will be more clear. But for now, just to give you a basic idea of what it is. So you start writing your Azure Test Plan. This is at the parent level. This is the first entity that you create. And inside the test plan, you can have one or more test suites. So test suites is nothing but a combination of different testing scenarios, right? And you can have more than one test suites in test plan. Then you have test cases. Test cases is where we actually write the steps to be executed, and these combination of test cases constitute a test suite, right? So this is like these have one to many relationship in this and from this and this as well, right? So multiple test suites is part of test plan, and multiple test cases is a part of test suite. As simple as that. And then these test cases we can assign to someone, right? We can assign it to a tester or a stakeholder or anything else. And in Scrum, this is usually a product backlog item. In agile based process, this is a user story. In CMMI, this is basically a requirement. So it depends on the type of Azure Board process that you are using. These test cases can be assigned to each one of these items, work items. These could be related to bug as well. So that is why it is showing the relationship with bug. We also have a concept of shared step. That means there are some steps that can be shared across multiple test cases so that we don't have to write it again. We are just reusing some common standard patterns across the test cases. And these shared steps are referenced by the shared parameters as well. So this is just an overview, and now we'll head over to Azure DevOps and we'll see how we can create it and how we can proceed further. All right, so I am in my Azure DevOps organization. So I'll go to organization settings from here. And from that, we can go to billing on the left side. And then there are different options. So here it is. This is what we're going to look at. So currently, what we are using is a basic plan, which has 5 basic users free of cost. And what we need for this, we need a basic plus test plan. We actually need to upgrade our plan from basic to basic plus test plan. And don't worry about it. You don't have to pay anything for that as long as you are doing within 30 days. So it provides 30 days of free trials, which is what we're going to use. So click over here, start free trial. This is saying the same thing, that you will have access to test plan, but for the 30 days, and after 30 days, you have to pay and you have to buy the plan to actually use it, right? So just use this. Okay, so this is activated. Now let's go to the user. Okay, and our user has also the basic access, and we need to update it to basic plus test plan. I'll show you why. So just select the user and click on these 3 dots. So if this is not visible, on the rightmost side, there are 3 dots. You click on that, there'll be an option to manage user, right? If you click on that, you can just change the access level from basic to basic plus test plan. And you can change it for any particular project or everything as part of this organization. So let's select everything and hit save over here. Okay, now our user has basic plus test plan. Okay, so here it says that to do any test planning, that means creating test plan, test suites, managing it, managing configuration, all of these things, you need to have basic plus test plan. If you just need to execute the test cases, you can do that on basic plan, but we have not created the test cases yet, so we need to have basic plus test plan. And for performing the exploratory testing with test and feedback extension, you can have even stakeholder access and you should be able to perform it. This is what we have talked about earlier as well. Like, this type of testing can be run by anyone within the organization. They don't have to be basic or basic plus test plan user. So they should have the default stakeholder access and they should be able to do it. Then to analyze and review test cases as well, like browsing the test result, assigning it, and all of other things, you need to have basic or basic plus test plan. So that is why we have enabled basic plus test plan, but we'll also create one more user for stakeholder access for this particular activity over here, performing exploratory testing. We'll see that later on. But this is what we have done. So we have enabled this user to be basic plus test plan user. Now what we can do is you go to Azure DevOps, go to your project, and from there on the left side, there'll be an option test plans. You click on that. If you are not seeing this particular screen over here, if you are logging for the first time and you see something else, then that means you have not executed the steps that we have just did. So make sure you start the billing trial. You make sure you have the required access to do that, right? So let's hit on over here. Let's hit test plan, new test plan. Give it a name. Okay, let's call it Day-6 demo plan. Okay, and area path is YouTube clone and iteration is also YouTube clone. That is okay. And then hit create. So this is our test plan, which will have or which can have multiple test suites. So now what we'll be doing is we'll be creating test suite. Click over here and go to new suite. Now it has three options: static suite, requirement based suite, or query based suite. You can select any of those. So let's go ahead with this one for now, requirement based suite. Now, when you do that, it will basically generate a query for you. And over here, the work item type will be Microsoft dot requirement category, because we have chosen requirement based test suite. And area path is under YouTube clone, so that is okay. Now, if you run the query, you will see all the action item under this particular path. But because we don't have anything, that is why it is showing us blank. So let me open a new window and create some dummy data. Okay, I'll go to YouTube clone. Let's go to boards. Okay, new work item, create an epic. Call it testing. Save. And now from the right, change it to epics. So over here, we have created an epic testing under the same area and iteration. And if we go back now and execute run query, it's still not showing anything because value over here is requirement category, and we have to change this to epic category because epic is what we have created. So let's change it back to epic create category and run query now. Now our item is visible over here and we can create suites. But before, go back over here and give this a meaningful name. Let's call this maybe UI testing. Save and close. And let's go back now and run the query again. So the new name is getting reflected. Yeah, let's hit on create suites. Okay, now our test plan is created and test suite is created. We can have multiple test suites, but for now just one is good. Now we need to add the test cases to it, and on the bottom there is an option add test cases. Click on that. Now here is the test case. So the test case, you can add the title. Let's call it search should work properly, right? And let's add a step. over here. So step should be something like go to the application UI and search the channel tutorials with Piyush. Okay, and add one more step. Go to the channel and check the latest video of day 5. So because this is day 6, our day 5 video, which was the recent video, should be visible over there. So that's our 2 test cases, expected results. We can add that, like search should work. And over here, video should be accessible, right? You can add more test cases as per your need. But just for this, this should be good enough. And let's save this. Let's add one more test case. Okay, let's call it YouTube recommendations. Steps, go to the application and enter tech tutorials. Okay, expected result should be recommended search should appear. Just this simple step should be good enough, and let's hit save and close. So now we have created 2 test cases, one test suite, and it is all under one test plan. Now to execute the test case as a tester, you can open the test case and assign this to someone. Currently it's assigned to me as I am the only user. You can assign it to someone like from your testing team, and they should get the email notification as well as it should be visible from their Azure Test Hub. So this is the screen that we are seeing. This is Azure Test Hub. So they can execute it from here or from the email itself. So email will redirect them to this link itself. Now let's go to Azure Boards over here in my second tab, and let's hit refresh. So now this particular epic that we created, it's now showing 2 test cases attached to it. And if we click on that, it is showing the test cases details. And as I've mentioned before, we can add the test cases from here. We can execute it from here as well. So that's one of the features of it. And currently, if you hover the mouse over here, it is showing 0 passed, 0 failed, and 2 other. That means 2 are pending to be executed. So this is what I meant by traceability when I was explaining it to you. It can be traced from here, from Azure boards, and vice versa. Right? So if we go back now, over here, let's select the test cases and then go over here, which says execute. Okay, now select the first case, which is search should work properly. And then we can see there is an option. We can run for desktop application, or we can run for web application, or we can run with options. So let's run for web application. And it has opened a new browser window. So this browser window is also referred to as test runner. This provides you an interface to execute your test cases in real time. Let's maximize this window. From here, you can capture the screenshot while running the test cases. You can capture user actions, or you can screen record as well. And from here, you can add comments, record screen with audio, add attachment, a lot of things, and then it will be added to the work item itself. So let's see this one. Let's say we have gone to the web application and we have tested everything. So I can mark this test case as pass because this is manual test case. So we can just mark this pass from here. And if you want, you can, attach the screenshot as well. So let's capture the screen. It says install the prerequisite of test and feedback extension. So let's install this as well. Let's install the application. Okay, so this is the Chrome extension, and if you are using any other browser, it should be available in that. And add to Chrome, add extension. Okay, it's been added. Close this window, and over here it says after launching this application, relaunch the runner. So let's relaunch this. Okay, let's select run for web application. Okay, now select this and select capture screenshot. It says the extension should be connected to Azure DevOps. So let's open this extension. Okay, and it's asking the Azure server URL. So let's add the server URL. Hit next and then select the project, this project, YouTube clone. It's basically asking to select the team inside the project. So let's select this. And now it should be able to capture the screen. Let's say if we capture, if we are, let's say, running our application over here somewhere, because my application is not up and running at the moment. But let's say I'll go to my application from here. Okay, so this is the default homepage of my application. And let's say we need to capture the results from that application. So I can just click on capture screenshot, okay, and capture the entire screen, or maybe just the window. Which window? This one over here, here, right? And then we can select which area we would want to select. So I'll select it from here, this one. Just simply drag it, and then there is a plus sign to save the screenshot. Save it. Now the screenshot has been added over here, you see. So this was the first one. Okay. And then it has the second as well, which says go to channel and check the latest video of day 5. Right. So let's mark this as failed. Okay. Not accessible. Okay. And save and close. Now let's go back and let's hit refresh or just change it from here. And now it says one is failed. Okay, so we marked it as failed. That is why this is failed. Let's see the test case result. Click over there. And if you click on that, it will open a Run Explorer. You can open it from there as well. So let me walk you through that. So from the test plan itself, there is an option where it says runs. You click on that. This over here is the Run Explorer. You can click on this to expand the test runs. And over here, it says there is one failed test in the UI testing manual. You click on that, it will show you all the details. Currently, we have not tested in a build platform. That is why these details are disabled. But let's do that as well. For that, you can go to test plans and then configuration. So these are all the available configurations. So let's update it. In this, let's add browser as Chrome. Hit save. Okay, now let's go back to our test plan. You can assign the configuration to test suite. I click over here and where it says assign configuration. Currently, we only have one configuration, but earlier it was just Windows 10 OS. Now we have added the browser as well. So that is why it is showing the updated values. If you have multiple configuration, it should have been visible over here by now. Now, if you want to see the test results, you can click on this one. You can double click over this one. So we actually executed the test cases 2 times. One time we reloaded the screen, the status changed to pause. And then we again, when we connected it, we failed it. So let's open the failed one. And if we go down, you see it was failed in these both the steps. And here is a screenshot as well that we have added. Right. And here is the comment that we have added. So we could add multiple like attachment, screen recording, and all other things that we have discussed. We have the other one as well over here. Let's select this one, run for web application. And over here, again, it says it's running in Windows 10, the right button. And now we can mark this as passed. Let's add a comment. Looks good to me. Okay, add it and then save and close. Now you will see this test case has been marked as passed. Okay, and now if you go to your Azure board, open in a new tab, okay, over here and hit refresh. Okay, so we have two test cases and it's been showing as cross. That means there is one failed test case. Click on that and you should see the failed one and the passed one. Okay. Now let's have a look at the last topic, which is exploratory testing, how we can do that. So because we have already enabled this extension, so let's click on that and you can just start the session from here. That's how you start the session. And then go to session timelines over here and it has the similar option of record the screen, add the comment, add the screenshot and all of those. Let's click over here. And now it says this is the timeline. Now it says exploring this and session just started. Let's go over here and let's assume that we have looked into this and it looks okay for us. Let's go back, okay, and add a note. It looks okay for now. Okay, hit save and let's add screen recording as well. Start audio, start recording, allow, start recording, and let's record the entire screen. Okay, so this is recording is going on. It's been 4 seconds. That should be good. So let's stop the recording. And now if you go to session timelines, so it has added a screen recording and it has added a note. And similarly, we can add the browser tab and all of those things. Once we are done, we can hit uh, over here to stop the session. Now you can go to your project and then again test plans. Over here, go to runs. And you can click on that where it says test run. If it is visible, no, it's not visible over here, but you can click over here recent exploratory sessions and now it is showing you one work item. So that means there were exploratory testing performed on this, and basically that's it. That's how you can view the exploratory sessions, who started it and all the other details around it. Then we also have from the left side test plans, we also have an options that says progress reports. So if you click on that, you will see a dashboard for all the test runs that you have executed. So the test plan, test points, passing rate, and with the help of a graph. And here are the details in the tabular format as well. So you can customize this as per your needs. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you would have understood how Azure DevOps Test Plan works and you would have implemented it by yourself by now. If not, feel free to do that and let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions, any feedback about this particular video, or you can join our Discord community and ask your question over there. With that being said, I will see you tomorrow with the next video. Take care of yourself. Keep learning.